we discussed earlier in the week about MG Dub's price tag. If they want to pay 100 million or anywhere close to that for him, I'm still willing to let him go, mate. But I don't know if I want to say anything else. Have you guys covered the whole game? I missed, obviously, what you've been talking about.
Yeah, pretty much. We can start going into the nuances of it. If you want to go, let's go down to MGW stuff then. Because I right now, the mood I'm in with him, I'd take 80.
Yeah. You say that as if it's like, crazy.
No, but 80 million,
mate, we should be running around around the streets with our pants in the air, mate. I tell you.
I just wish he'd learned to shoot. Do you remember how scary he was in the championship when he came up against us at Sheffield United?
Yeah, bloody hell.
The thing I remember was him missing a penalty against us. That's the only thing I can remember.
No, but that season, and that season, he was such a menace.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. But he was an absolute nightmare, and he was one player that you didn't want to come up against. When he scored that, was it the equaliser on the night? And I was like, oh, here we go again. You just knew something, you just felt it. You felt those feelings again from the Blackpool game, every other game that we messed up in the playoffs. But yeah, he was a menace. So I haven't seen that side of him really for us, certainly as a goal threat.
Do you know they're convinced they're getting him? There's rumors. I know nothing about this, right? This is all coming from the City side. They're saying that he's been spotted house hunting in Manchester, that he's been chilling with Phil Foden, that this is a done deal, that this is that.
Yeah, he's Phil Foden's mate, but the guy's not going to go house hunting in Manchester when he's at Forest playing for
exactly.
Anyway, they all live in Cheshire. They all live in Oldley Edge and stuff like that.
Yeah. In footballers' houses. That's what they live in.
I've got the solution for Gibbs-White. I was thinking about the solution for Gibbs-White because we all know his passing is the best in the league, but his shooting is sort of League One.
His passing is not the best in the league.
Well, what I want him to do is this, right? Morgan, next time you're in front of the goal, I want you to imagine
into the net.
Yeah, I want you to imagine that Callum Hudson-Odoi is standing in the bottom corner of the goal, and I want you to do one of those fantastic passes to him, right? And see what happens. Because
I always think that, Rob.
Yeah.
I always think that. Why can't you pass it into the net?
Imagine that Elanga is hanging off the top corner of the goal, and just do one of those Trivellas to him and just see what happens. Because for some reason, when
what are you lot talking
when
about?
he comes to take a shot, when he comes to take a shot, he snatches at it.
Trivella's an outside of the boot person.
Trivella's when you go like that.
Yeah, well, no, but he sliced his shot last night. He was trying to Trivella.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, I think it's something to do with his mentality when he takes a shot, because he doesn't get his weight over the ball. He leans back, he snatches at it, and it's like he's getting a little adrenaline panic attack. I've got to have a shot.
That's it. He snatches.
But with his passing, it's like surgical. So he needs to imagine he's passing to Chris Wood.
I'm telling you, he's Bruno Fernandes. That's what he is.
Why did you say Bruno Fernandes? Bruno Fernandes has got a finish on him.
Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, minus the finish. Minus the finish. I'm telling you.
He's a great player.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never say a Man U player is a great player.
Yeah, but
we are allowed to be grumpy on grumpy old Reds.
I'm just saying, look, I think Morgan Gibbs-White is an exceptional player. I just don't think he's reaching his potential right now. And the big part of that for me is the shooting. Yeah. The passing I can live with. He'll get most of his passes off and then he'll mess it up. He started to do the old spinneroonies in the middle of the pitch again.
He's got to get that back in check, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Quite good, actually.
It's the shooting.
Yeah, you're there's a holiday park, according to Google. Trevella's a holiday park. I can't find any.
That's
Trevella. Oh, maybe we need panelists. I just, for me, it's the shooting. If he can't shoot anymore, put him in an 8. Put him in the 8.
But don't they see that? That's why I don't understand his value. I can see other sides.
It's paper talk value. It's not actual what clubs are going to come in for him for.
But we're not going to accept
MGW for 100 mil. No.
But we're not going to accept any less than 80 mil, are we? I can't see that. I don't see the point.
That's just negotiation talk.
He was scoring goals in the championship for Sheffield, man. This is the thing I'm saying. He looks quite natural at it. He looked quite natural. In fact, they played him up front when they had an injury crisis, didn't they?
But
They
that's
were
what
playing
makes
Morgan Gibbs-White up front.
But that's what
Yeah,
makes a
he played
that's
as a
what makes the
striker.
top. That's what makes the top strikers the top strikers. Is they always seem to have that time to pick where they're going to put the ball.
But also, I mean,
Whereas
listen,
most
seen
footballers snatch at it. The top ones you watch, they always seem to have that time. Guys.
But we've seen it. There's levels to this. You can't compare a Championship Gibbs-White to a Premier League Nottingham Forest top.
Yeah, but as the rest of his game moved on and accelerated, like the other traits you saw in the Championship moved along into the level of the Premier League. The shooting didn't, man. The shooting didn't.
No, I mean, you're right. There were times when they did play him as strikers. I think he scored. I think he got into double figures that season for goals for Sheffield United, in the season we obviously went up. So you're right, but I do think they played him right up front in a couple of games.
If he played up, what are we talking about? He played up front against us in the semi-final.
Well,
Sheffield had an injury crisis in the run-in, and they were playing Berger up front and Gibbs-White up front because they had no recognised strikers fit.
Yeah.
They had Ndiaye as well, didn't they?
So it's a bit unfair to expect him to, be slotting goals away like a striker. But he should score.
No, I get that, Ant. But I'm saying I'm
agreeing with you.
Like my point here is, if I look at tens, right, current tens in the league, I look at someone like, I hate to say his name, Fernandes. He gets goals, right? As annoying as he is.
He doesn't always play 10.
And he's been playing as an 8 as well, hasn't he? You got Morgan Rodgers, who can shoot.
He doesn't play as an out and out.
He's been moved out to the right because Asensio has come in, but in general, he's a 10.
Yeah, you can play a 10.
Yeah, you got all these 10s. I feel they're just goal contributions are a lot higher than Gibbs-White at the moment, and it's getting a bit further. I would just say, you know what? Can't shoot, won't shoot. Put him as an 8. Push him back as an 8.
Well, we've all said that, haven't we? We've all said that. But even 8 should be able to score. Even 8 need to arrive late in the box and score. Yeah. How many goals has he got this season?
3. I think
it's
3. He's on more like 4, 5.
I'll tell you one sec.
Either way, I mean, I've said this before. He should, for what we're expecting from him, certainly now at this level, he's got to be in double figures for goals and assists. 10 goals, 10 assists. That's what the benchmark.
He's got 5.
That's massive.
He's got to, and if you're looking at the players around, okay, comparing to I said this the other day. We need like a real talisman, like a Saka, like a Salah. I know they're the top, but
he ain't no, is he?
But that's
5 goals, 7 assists.
If that's a party we want to be in, the top 3 that we're in right now, who is our Saka, who is our Salah? It's MG Dub, isn't it?
We're in the top 3 because we've got a fantastic defense. That's why we're in the top 3.
Of course, but obviously we take our chances as well. I mean, yesterday I think our XG was less than 1.
It was tiny. And theirs was 2. I'm sure theirs was 2 point something or what.
It was over 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would anyone sell him or keep him? Would anyone sell him or keep him? Bear in mind, you're probably going to get clipped up if you say sell him. I'm at the stage of selling him.
I think you guys
add somebody else to and change how we use him.
I put it in the chat at the end of the last score that give me 60 million plus Jack Grealish and he's theirs. I'll take it.
But you're not going to. That's not a deal that's going to happen.
Well, whatever, 50 million. I think
maybe McAtee plus cash is probably something.
If you want McAtee, 80 million plus McAtee.
Yeah, but teams not going to pay that for him.
But listen, we can hold.
Well, you may as well say 200 million. It makes no odds.
If we're going to hold anyone to ransom,
if there's a bidding war, then right.
Might as well be Man City. Fucking moneybags, man. Pardon my language. Moneybags might as well hold them to ransom. If they really want him,
I don't even think Man City would want him. If I'm honest.
No, they do. They want him as an 8.
I've not spoken to Pep, and Pep has not said to me he wants him. And until that happens, I won't believe it.
And Man City buy people to stop other teams from having them. They literally do that.
I really hope he scores this Sunday against Man City. That would be so perfect, man. That would be so perfect.
He gets a hat trick against them. Why stop at 1?
Yeah.
All right, fine. 100 goals then. Right?
Yeah, 100. Here we go. Now we're talking. It'd definitely be worth 100 million then.
I don't know. I'm interested in what the chat think. So let's do a quick poll on this one.
People, I just talk about 80 million plus or 60 million plus Jack. To be honest, I'd just swap him for Jack Grealish.
Straight swap? No, bro. No.
Not with the age. Not with the age
difference away. Take the age difference away. Forget the age difference. I think Jack Grealish is. Can you remember him at Villa in his proper position?
Bro,
he was
brilliant.
Magnificent.
It was brilliant.
City, I mean, we are on the left. You know,
we are talking Championship Villa, but he was exceptional. You know, he was given a free role and he was allowed to be a menace. You know, and he was most games.
And he did win the treble in his first season at Man City. That ain't bad.
Yeah. Obviously.
Right. I want to ask you guys about this formation that we played, right? Chat, the poll's up there. And again, like, take it with a pinch of salt. I'm only interested in your opinion. Are you saying you want to sell him or keep him? Really doesn't mean shit because we have no say in it.
There's so much nuance in that question, though, isn't there? You know, it depends on how much. And
I know I haven't given a price or anything like that. Yeah. It's just a rough guide, man. You know, I'm not going to put it under Marinakis' nose and say you must now sell him. 62% wanted him sold.